And here I am, floating amongst the stars, frozen and lifeless. How the sea of the universe could be so cruel. So how did we get here? It's me, Pyregrove. Today I decided to do something a little bit different and include my voice. While this might not seem like a big deal to most, it is an incredible daunting thing for me to do. Why, I'm not too sure. However, I'm hoping it would add some personality and character to the videos. Last episode, I asked for what type of content you guys wanted to see, and I had some incredible interaction with some very knowledgeable people within the EVE Online community. While I really do enjoy sitting around and building up my industrial empire, there's only so much you could get done in a run of a day. Plus, it's a little bit more fun and engaging when you have the chance to shoot at something. Something that was communicated a lot was how Abyssal Deadspaces are an easy and cost-effective way to get started. So this is what we will be doing today. I did briefly go online and try to find a decent ship fit for doing these. However, a lot of them take substantial training to be able to pilot effectively. With this being said, I decided to do a trial by fire and see if I can get through it by substituting things that requires days of training with those of lesser quality counterparts, which are usable sooner. The ship I decided to pilot here was a Amar frigate. It is currently incredibly tanky and has a decent amount of firepower and is often recommended, and it is called the Punisher. Something to note here is that I am creating a waypoint in the middle of space by warping to a gate and dropping a waypoint mid-travel. What this allows us to do is to fly back and be in the middle of space away from everything, and this will allow us to have a safe little buffer zone from people finding us when we are partaking in this activity. Abyssals can be activated with 3 different sizes of ship, with the maximum quantity of ships allowed to enter reducing for every size of ship you increase. So with that being said, you're allowed 3 frigates, 2 destroyers, and 1 cruiser. It is important to note that you are still required a filament for each ship that enters, so you will require 3 filaments for frigates, 2 filaments for destroyers, and 1 filament for a cruiser, regardless of how many actually entered the zone. So why am I doing a frigate level abyssal filament just by myself? Kinda seems silly. And this is because if you're able to complete a frigate level key, then you get roughly the loot for 3 people. This means if you do a cruiser level filament, you will get less loot overall. Now, I don't know if this is legit, but this is the small amount of testing I've done. We will be running double armor repair setup. This will allow us to regenerate our armor and be incredibly tanky and take an incredible amount of damage. Now with that being said, this could get very messy. Combat is definitely not something that I've done a whole lot of, so please close your eyes when it gets really bad. While this looks very bad, we're actually able to tank most of this damage. Armor repairs and our ability to keep moving will be key here. It's definitely worrying. With every enemy we kill, we reduce our total damage taken. Something to note is that this is a Tier 1 electrical filament. The tier of these filaments generally dictates the overall difficulty, while the modifier, in this case being the electrical part, applies effects to both you and the enemies. I can ramble on about this, but I do suggest, if you do partake in one of these, to go to the EVE online wiki, and they have a very well typed out paragraph there. Let's see what kind of loot we got from clearing this room. In order to get the loot, you have to destroy these floating caches. We're definitely hurting, but I'm sure we could proceed. All of our ship is kind of revolving around armor, so our armor's full. In order to proceed, you have to enter these gates. One thing I really do enjoy about these is just how stunning the environments are. Seeing all the rocks everywhere, everything shattered, broken. This isn't really good. You can't really break through their armor. They got us slowed with webs. This reduces our movement speed, increasing our damage taken by reducing our ability to avoid their projectiles. It hurts.